It's old comic book prime time.
Hey, what's up my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the Printformers POWERMASTER OPTIMUS Prime. So here we are, and there he is, and there is no official packaging for this because this is just a 3D printed piece, but here is the gift box that it was sent in. It's up pretty. It's up pretty. Look at it. Look at it. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep this box for Christmas presents, but moving right along. So here we have the Printformers POWERMASTER OPTIMUS Prime, and if you remember the Printformers Scorponok that I reviewed a while back, this is from that same creator, that same maker, and yeah, this is his POWERMASTER OPTIMUS Prime, and this is meant to invoke the old Marvel Comics look that he had, so, yeah, and this is totally 3D printed. You know, there's some hardware in here. There's a couple screws, some pins, but other than that, this is completely 3D printed, which is really cool. And, you know, he didn't want to do any parts forming. He didn't want to do any, you know, faux parts. He wanted this to be a completely practical transformation, and in doing so, obviously, some compromises have to be made, and you can see one of those is a little... He's got a little baby trailer. Not much to it. You can extend this a little bit, make it a little longer, but... yeah, he's got a little baby trailer, but all in all though, for what it is, and for being a totally 3D printed piece, I think it's pretty well done and pretty fun, but let's get in closer so we can take a look at the details. You can see some nice blue there for the windshield, got some nice detail there for the front grille, and for the lights. Got those double-barreled blasters right there. It's a very simplistic design because it's meant to invoke a very simplistic design. Got all the wheels there. I love how the tires have the little molded treads there. And again, his little baby trailer. On the back, you can see his foot's a little rough there. But for the most part, the print is pretty smooth. I mean, there's some little rough spots here and there, but for the most part, it's a pretty smooth print, pretty well done. Obviously, it depends on, you know, what kind of materials you're using and, you know, what kind of printer you're using, but for the most part, it's a pretty good print, although I wish this panel would stand a little bit better. There we go. But yeah, there's the top. There is the bottom. It does not roll as rolling things should. The wheels are just they're just friction fitted on, so they do not roll freely. Maybe he'll find a way to make them be able to roll freely. I don't know, but as it is right now, yeah, he doesn't roll. He slides really well. He can slide. You can slide him all over the place, but no actual rolling there. So yeah, have that. And for a quick comparison, here he is with the Earthrise Optimus Prime, just so you can see how this particular version scales. Now, granted, you know, keep in mind, you could print this figure as big as you want. You could probably print it smaller. So, you know, this is the size that he sent me, but obviously you could print this really at any size you want. But this is how this particular one scales with the Earthrise Prime. So, there you go. Now, as far as accessories go, he does have his two big old guns right here, just printed in black. You can see, nicely done. Nice detail going on there. Pretty cool. The handles are removable. The handles are a separate piece. Again, a lot of this is just friction fit. And there are some warnings. There are some things you need to be careful with. I was sent some words of caution, and I will pass those words of caution along. Right here, you can see if you're going to rotate these guns, make sure that you are holding it by the base. Don't use the cannons themselves for leverage, because the cannons are fragile. That doesn't mean they're Italian. It means they're fragile. They could break. Don't do that. So if you want to rotate these, make sure you're grabbing it by the base. Don't grab it by the barrels, or you will snap them. And also, as far as his big gun goes, the gun barrel is fragile. That does not mean it's Italian. It means fragile. And yeah, it's definitely fragile because this one This one actually came broke out of the box, so apparently it just got, you know, banged up during shipping and popped off and I had to glue it back on, so yeah. The barrels of these guns are fragile. The barrels of these guns are fragile, so be careful with these. Make sure you handle them appropriately. So, what you can do with these guns is you can store them on the truck mode here. You have these slots right up top, and you just take these, and you just give them a little wiggle wiggle, and they'll just pop right down. Wiggle wiggle, and they'll just pop right down. And there you go. You have everything stored. And there he has all of his accoutrements. Hey, that looks pretty cool. Why not? Dare I say, why not? But yeah, that is basically it for the truck mode. So let's get down to transformation, shall we? You can't get a good spin out of him. That's what they call a 3D printed spin. It's not too spinular. Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying. So let's first remove these guns here. Pop those out. No, we're not undoing this yet. You stay. And just give these a wiggle, 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 wiggle. Oops. Again, the handles are a separate piece, so they're supposed to pop off. If it bugs you that much, just take a little dab of glue and put it in there so they'll never come off again. Totally up to you what you want to do. There we go. So now, let us begin the transformation. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come back here and we're just going to split the trailer open. You want to rotate these connectors down, like so. Just rotate those down. And then we are going to just extend the legs. Let's extend these all the way down as far as they'll go. And once you've done that, you just take the main body, bring it up, and you want to bring this forward as far as it'll go until this clicks in, like so, goes into that clip, and then you just push it down, and that will lock it into place. There you have that done. And now we can split the legs, give them a little wiggle, spread them out so we have room to operate. You take these connector pieces here, flip those down. And this is a little clever piece of engineering here. You want to straighten this out. You can see there's a little track here. So you take the wheels and you just slide them all the way up this track like so. And then you swing all of this around. And this will come around like so. And then you just slide the leg up. And that will lock that panel in place. And that keeps all that locked. And that's really cool. That's a neat little trick. Like that. Now you just take this section here and just rotate that down, and there you have a leg all done. Second pass, guess what, is just like the first. So just straighten that out so you can slide these wheels up that track, like so. Bring this around, and then slide that up, and that locks all that in. Rotate this piece around, and there you have the lower body all done. And now we move on to the upper body. So you want to take these sections here, flip them up, and then flip this up. This is on 2 hinges. Flip this all the way up. And now we can just pull back his arms, just extend those. We can unpeg them, unpeg the forearms. Make sure those are out as far as they'll go. And then we're just going to extend the arms, just straighten these hinges out, like that. And then you just slide these back to expose the fists. And then you just rotate at the bicep, like that. So that little opening is facing up. And rotate, like that. And then you just take the arms and you swing them out and forward. Swing it out and forward. There you go. So you want to take this section here, just rotate that around. And what we're going to do now is we're going to open up his chest. Just little tabs that go right up in there. Just open up his chest, like so. And then you're going to slide this whole assembly back, and then rotate all this around. That will bring up the head. And once you've done that, you just slide this forward, like that, and then The windshield will just tab right in. Make sure you have everything sitting straight in there. There we go. And just tab that in and tab that in. That locks that into place. And then we come here to the wheel sections. You can see they're on this little double hinge assembly here. So you just bring it back and swing it in. And that will just tuck into the body. Just bring that back and in. And then these little panels will just fold over like so. And then we bring the arms down. These sections here, you just rotate. And then just flip this up and over to fill in the shoulders. Rotates, rotates, up and over. And the last thing you do is just slide his arms in. And there you go. There you have Marvel Comics Power Master Optimus Prime in his robot mode. And if he looks kind of weird, it's because he is, because this is exactly how they drew him in the old Marvel comics. This is how he looks, so it is pretty accurate. But let's get in close here so we can take a look at his chest. That is noggin, there's the noggin. You can see it's pretty nicely done head sculpt there. You got the gray for the face. Got some red for the eyes, but we can change that if we want to. Got some new little details there on the shoulders. Big beefy forearms. Hands. Got some detail in there as well. The crotchular region. Got a nice dark blue here for the shins, for his feet. And move on to the back. You can see how the wheels end up back there. Again, I love that little trick for the wheels. I think that's really cool. Very clever. You can see the back. You know, a little bit of hollow stuff going on back there. Not too filled out, but all in all, for what it's accomplishing, not too bad. Not too bad. Now, articulation-wise, the head is on a ball joint. You got a little bit of wiggly waggly. You can look up slightly, look down slightly. Head can do a full 360. Arms can do a full 360. They can, if you pull them out, you can get some outward movement. Now, if you move this panel out of the way, you can get a lot of outward movement to the point where he'll hit himself in the head with his own cannons. So you can, rotate that. There you go. You can get all the way out. If you need to, you have to move some things out of the way to do it, but you can get all the way out. You got bicep rotation. You have a bit over 90 degrees of bend there at the elbow. You do have a little bit of rotation at the, oh, there we go. I didn't have to slip back all the way. But you do have wrist rotation. You do have waist rotation as well. You can move all crotch panels out of the way to give you your leg movement. Legs can move forward, only about that far. Back, about that far. Outward. We can pretty much get the full splits there. You do have rotation right above the knee. You have a little bit of knee bend, not too much, a little bit of knee bend. As far as the feet go, you can pull them down. Just extend it, and there you have upward and a little bit of downward. You have rotation, yeah, a little bit of rotation, but again, things kind of collide. But it gives you a little bit extra articulation there. This part can slide down as well, so I guess that gives you a little. It could pop off also. Again, a lot of friction fit stuff in here, but it'll give you a little bit extra if you slide that down a bit. So all things you can adjust. And of course we can give him his weapons. Those just slide right into his hands. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But one cool thing about these guns is that they are Blush compatible. Yes, they are. I don't know if this is by design or a happy accident, but either way, they are Blush compatible. Look at that. Look at that. Hey, you know what we can do? We can do a big old double. Hey. We can do a big old double Power Master Blush. That's right. Double Power Master Bloosh. That's the best can, really, when you think about it. So, there you have that. And one more thing we can do, we can change up his eyes. So you just want to decapitate him, just pop his head off. And you can see he just has the red eyes in there right now, and you just want to slide this little panel down. Like so. And this gives you access to his face. Now you get to rip his face off for a change. There we go, just take his face off. And you just get in there and you slide this piece out, and if you want, you can give him some nice blue eyes. So you can have that look going. If you want to, again, you just slide that back in. There you go. Got nice blue eyes. If you want the blue eyes, another thing you can do, I believe these are eyepieces as well. Although they don't actually slide in, but you can give them yellow eyes. The only thing about these is that they don't secure. I'm not totally sure. I should have asked him about this, really. But I didn't have the time to, so I'm really just assuming so. If I got this wrong, it's okay. He's going to watch this video, so I'm sure he will correct everything I am saying wrong in the comments. Because he is way more knowledgeable than I am, since he is the one who designed this. And I really should have talked to him beforehand. I shot this video, but oh well. It is what it is. There you go. You can see, give him yellow eyes, but that's kind of rattling around in there. So again, I'm not sure if I'm doing this right or what. I didn't know. But again, he is more knowledgeable than I, and he will be able to answer your questions. You take those out, and this is also a more transparent piece, done in red, which light piping works pretty well. But he does give you a completely transparent piece here for light piping if you want to have a totally light piped look. So you just slide all of this in. This just sits right back here. And it kind of works. You can see, you know, the eyes light up a little bit. The plastic is not clear enough for that light to really pass through it, but it's okay. It's okay. Again, probably just depending on what kind of material you use, but light piping works okay. Like, this is personally not one that I'll be using. I think I'm just gonna stick personally with just the regular red eyes, because I think that works best. Looks best, at least to me anyway. I know Prime should have blue eyes, but in the comics he did have the red eyes. And I personally like how that looks. But hey, to each their own. You have the option, and as always, options are good. So, there you have that. And now for comparison. Here he is with the Earthrise Prime. Just give you a sense of the scale of this particular version. Again, you can print this out, whatever size you want. Here he is with the Titan's Return PowerMaster Prime. And here he is with the Printformers Scorponok. So you can see how they look together. They look quite nice together. And he also has a Fort Max. I'm still waiting on the Fort Max. But he also has a Fort Max, which looks very well done as well. Again, done in that Marvel Comics style. So, yeah, all around, they look quite good together. So, there you go. So there you have the Printformers PowerMaster Optimus Prime. And yeah, for being a totally 3D printed piece, I think it's pretty well done. You know, it invokes the look it's meant to invoke. It looks like that old Marvel Comics PowerMaster Prime. You know, the transformation, you know, there's some neat little tricks in there that I do quite like. You know, the truck mode is the weakest mode. You know, it's not great, but for what it is and how it works, it does a decent job at pulling off the truck mode. But, you know, overall, it's a very nicely done figure, a nice companion to the Printformers Scorponok. So all in all, hey, nicely done piece in my opinion. So now, if you would like this or any other Printformers offerings, you can always check out his Etsy store, linked in the description down below, so you can check that out, and you can purchase the files so you can print out your own figure if you like. He does also offer completely printed and assembled figures that you can purchase as well, so you can do it either way. You can purchase the files for your own printing, or you can just buy a completed assembled figure. Totally up to you what you want to do there. But again, link in the description down below so you can check that out. And of course, for all your other Transformers needs, you can check out BigBadToyStore.com, as always, linked in the description down below, so you can check that out as well. And I think that's it. So don't forget to check out EmGo's, check out Love Peace Paranormal, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below. And I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So there is the Printformers POWERMASTER Optimus Prime. And this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old. You grow old because you stop playing. Be geek, be proud, boom in your face. Oh, Scorponok, where are you going? On your way to do something evil? Now, why would you assume that I'm going to do something evil? Well, you're a Decepticon, so, what else are you going to do? How do you know I'm not going to go deliver toys to the local orphanage? How do I know you're not going to destroy the local orphanage? Well, that would also be a very fun idea. I mean, not fun idea. I mean, you know what? Shut up. Yeah, good talk, Scorpy. Good talk.